a powerful explosion in Russia's Kemerovo Obereg special unit, and a participant in the war crimes committed in Kyiv Oblast during the early phase of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine. According to Ukraine's defense intelligence, the blast occurred on the 25th of October, destroying the car driven by Majarin, who was 45 years old. He served in the Omon Obereg unit of the National Guard, stationed in Kemerovo Oblast, one of several units directly involved in atrocities against civilians during February and March 2022 in the towns and villages north of Kyiv. The DIU stated that Obereg was among the Russian formations that took part in executions, torture, and looting during the occupation of the Kyiv region, actions that Ukraine's prosecutor general has classified as war crimes and acts of genocide. Criminal proceedings have been opened against the unit's personnel for violations of the laws and customs of war. Ukrainian intelligence noted that the identities of the Obereg war criminals had been established as early as April 2022, and that measures were planned to ensure just punishment for those listed. The death of Majarin marks another in a growing list of Russian officers linked to atrocities in Ukraine who have met violent ends far from the battlefield, a pattern Kyiv's intelligence has described as the inevitable reach of justice. Anti-drone technicals seen outside the Kremlin recently are said to be a hastily improvised response to Ukraine's Operation Spiderweb. However, many are said to have been redirected away from strategic targets to protect Russian generals' dachas. Commenting on the recent viral photo of Russian soldiers manning a machine gun mounted on the back of a Toyota truck in central Moscow, the Vichk OGPU Telegram channel comments on the backstory according to a source. These are the last Toyota vehicles sent to Russia, which were modified to resemble Syrian Shahed mobiles. Machine guns were mounted on the vehicles immediately after Operation Spiderweb, when UAVs flew out of trucks and attacked military airfields. These vehicles, along with other military vehicles, are being stored in garages in case drones attack the Kremlin. But there are also other pickups that, by a ridiculous coincidence, were transferred to the Ministry of Internal Affairs and are now guarding generals' dachas. According to the VCHK OGPU source, the new Great Wall power pickups were purchased from China. The vehicles were equipped with electronic warfare systems, which are hidden in covers during transport. Pickup trucks with blue license plates are supposed to be stationed along the central ring road and be mobile. However, according to the source, the units are stationed and on duty right next to the homes of high-ranking officials. The soldiers of the 25th Separate Airborne Syiaslav Brigade evacuated their comrade from a position that had been hit by a Russian-guided aerial bomb.
Твою мать! Вот это, по нам попало!
A Russian missile and drone attack on the city of Zaporizhzhia has left 2 people dead and at least 17 injured, including 6 children, in one of the latest strikes targeting civilian areas in southern Ukraine. The attack took place overnight between the 29th and 30th of October, hitting residential neighborhoods, student dormitories, and infrastructure facilities. According to Ivan Fedorov, head of the Zaporizhzhia Oblast Military Administration, emergency crews continued to work at the scene. As of 11 a.m., rescuers had pulled the body of the second fatality from under the rubble of a destroyed residential building. Fedorov said that many of the injured suffered concussions, fractures, lacerations, and acute stress reactions as explosions tore through private houses and apartment blocks. Video footage released by local authorities shows extensive damage, shattered windows, burned-out vehicles, and rescue workers digging through debris while comforting shocked residents. The attack is part of a wider Russian bombardment campaign that struck multiple cities across Zaporizhzhia Oblast during the night, targeting both civilian and energy infrastructure. Ukrainian officials say that Moscow continues to escalate pressure on frontline and rear areas as winter approaches, using missile and drone barrages to spread fear and disrupt essential services. Rescue operations remain ongoing as emergency teams search for survivors and provide medical assistance to those affected by yet another brutal night of Russian terror in Zaporizhzhia. Ukraine's Navy has received additional combat boat 90 vessels from Sweden and Norway, completing a full division based on this platform. The CB-90s are among the world's best fast assault boats, used by many NATO countries for troop landings, coastal defense, patrol, and maritime security operations. The newest U.S. sanctions are starting to bite Russia, and its main oil buyers are beginning to back away from Russian oil. According to Bloomberg, the sanctioned tanker Furia, which was en route to India carrying nearly 730,000 barrels of Russian Urals crude, has changed course and is now anchored in the Baltic Sea. This may indicate that the buyer has refused to accept Russian oil following the U.S. sanctions imposed on the oil giants Rosneft and Lukoil.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.